Verbal and Nonverbal Communication by Joshua Guy, Christine Bailey, Grace Gillibaugh, Alessandro Lever, Stephanie Shazinski, and Madison Israel. To explain the concept, verbal communication is the action on conserving or gathering information via words. Verbal communication studies begin in the late 1950s. It allows others to communicate by speaking what is on their hearts and in their minds. Verbal communication is a process of decoding messages. How does it work? There are 4 communication paradigms. The first one is the encoding-decoding paradigm. The second one is the intentionalist paradigm. The third one is the perspective-taking paradigm, and the fourth one is the dialogic paradigm. Verbal communication fits in the encoding and decoding paradigm. It is a series of encoding messages to send and decoding and responding to the decoded messages you received. Verbal communication works by sending channel noises to the receiver, which they have to decode. Sure enough, there is an importance of verbal communication. First of all, it improves teamwork in a crisis. As a result, much of what it means to function as a team or to be a good leader equates with good communication. In short, communication means ensuring everyone is on the same page. It also improves outcomes. Not all instructions need to be in detail. Sometimes, as less words said in a time of crisis is more effective. An example of this. In medicine, we accept the importance of communication skills when dealing with emotional families or disruptive colleagues. Importance of verbal communication also improves assertiveness. Deliberate instructions help be clear in what needs to be done and can be utilized by the leader to get the tasks done. Regardless, it is one thing to ensure that you as a communicator speak clearly and comprehensively, and it improves task completion. Sometimes lack of verbal communication is utilized to ensure complete focus on a task. Sometimes repeat to confirm what was said so the task is completed well. Examples on how verbal communication was used throughout the semester is verbal communication was utilized a lot in our CLC groups. We were working a lot in class to produce answers to lecture questions. And lastly, working on CLC tasks at the beginning of the year in Zoom sessions. Nonverbal communication is the usage of message components other than words to generate meaning. There are many different components of nonverbal communication that work together to communicate meaningful in a way other than words. These different types of nonverbal communication communicate something about yourself and to others around you. How does it work? Nonverbal communication can be expressed as any of the follows: personal experience, facial expression and eye contact, vocal expression, and physical expression. Through personal appearance can be described as a way others see us. This includes clothing, attire, and personal hygiene. Facial expressions and eye contact is when talking to others, it is important to show that we are engaged with what they are trying to communicate. A good way to show that we are participating, being engaged with the speaker, is by using facial expressions and keeping a firm eye contact. Both can communicate emotions and interest. Furthermore, eye contact plays a major role when interaction within a group. Next, there is vocal expression. Vocal expression is the variation of word stress, volume, and pitch. Where word stress involves emphasizing aspects of speech, volume is how loud the voice is, and pitch is how high or low the voice is. And lastly, there is personal expression. Personal expressions are important because by examining people's facial expressions, body posture, gestures, eye movement, touch, and use of physical space can understand whether, for example, they believe and trust within a person is saying, or, on the other hand, if they disagree with that person. The next question is, why is nonverbal communication so important? First of all, it leads people to flourish stronger relationships. It also gives us important information about a situation, such as working on an assignment and being aware of who's working on what. And lastly, it improves a person's ability to engage in the group. Examples on how verbal communication was used throughout the semester is, first of all, keeping eye contact with each other when someone is talking, making sure we are engaged with the person speaking using our facial expressions, and lastly, working together within our group chat. And this is just our reference page. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation.